Welcome again back to the Excited People podcast. I'm here, your host, Armani the Great. I wish you could just add, I can add great to my name. I mean, like,
I don't see why not.
I mean, I don't like, you know, with Charlemagne, Charlemagne the God, he made that up. Did someone else call him Charlemagne?
Don't use that as an example just because I don't like Charlemagne the God.
Exactly, but that's what I'm saying.
It bugs me, dude.
The fact that he could just add that to his name, you know what I'm saying?
I just call him Charlemagne.
Yeah, most people do.
The fraud.
The fraud. Okay. Well, we're here. You may recognize that delightfully smooth, but yet raspy and crisp voice.
Armani, you already introduced yourself.
Ooh!
Hi, it's Taryn. I'm back again.
Hi, it's Taryn. They don't know what Taryn is. You gotta tell them what Taryn is.
Well, I'm just saying. Well, I mean, I've been on here.
You didn't
before.
let me finish what I was
I'm
going to
sorry.
say, though.
I'm sorry.
So this is Taryn, my best friend.
Best friends.
Our third host is on the way.
He's running late.
When he gets here, we'll clue him in. Hopefully, you won't even notice that he wasn't here. He's just like that.
We hope.
I'm joking. You'll probably notice that he wasn't here.
Well, I was thinking of it as more along. That's how well we captured it. That he wasn't here.
I got you.
Not that he. We don't want him here.
We're entertaining just the two of us.
Exactly.
Each other.
Exactly.
I can feel that the chemistry rising off like a hot bagel.
Yeah,
Or
that's what we do.
do they make hot bagels?
Yeah.
Are bagels made like bread
I would think so.
in like an oven?
Yeah.
And they just cut the whole out of bread. Like, how do you make it a bagel? You just cut the whole out of bread.
You just call it a bagel.
I feel like because it's mostly bread.
But what I mean is, like, you take a piece of bread and cut a hole in it and call it a bagel. Like
That's what I don't think you can though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, so that's not like all they do. I'm sure it's a
I'm just
different type of bread or something. I don't know.
okay. Well,
I'm not a baker.
You're not a baker.
I'm not a baker.
Okay, well maybe you could be a baker. Are you a shoemaker?
I have done that a couple of times.
A couple of times.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Today we were going to talk. Well, first I wanted to make sure we got Taryn plugged because he's going to forget his tweet. I asked him what his Twitter handle was before he started this, and he goes, "I probably should check that."
Yeah.
Is it still Taryn Shoemaker, or is it something interesting?
No, it's tearing it up.
Tearing it up.
Yeah.
Not tearing you up.
No,
which is his fantasy football.
tearing you apart was my fantasy football name, just because I wanted to talk trash.
What are you feeling next year?
You know what? I haven't given that much thought yet.
I know. I love coming up with names for my fantasy football team. Like, that's one of my favorite things to do. It's like I get to brainstorm, and I usually end up with just like a. Last year I did a napkin.
Okay.
The year before that I did a napkin, and the last year I did string of sticky notes. Just because I love to see them all together, like to see my process, how I got to it. And there was a name that I really wanted, but I couldn't get it right, so I'm gonna have to make like a anagram for it because I wanted to be the drowsy round of Rousies. But it just was too long. It didn't feel like it never appears fully on anything.
Yeah, that's true.
So I want to make it so that it'll appear and say, if we do ESPN, you'll be able to put a nickname, and then So I'll put Rousey, and then full name will be Drowsy Rousey. But I also am gonna recycle the name. I usually don't, but this name was too. I was Netflix and Chill, like that was my team name.
Oh yeah,
but I probably won't recycle that one just because it's good. There's a lot of good ones.
But you realize what you just said, right?
Yeah, but I never would have came up with that one if I wouldn't have decided to not recycle the ones from last year. So that's why I'm like, oh, that one was good. But then I'm like, I wonder if it's still gonna be like culture relevant because pop culture names are fun.
That's true.
My brother had a team name, Game of Thrones or Throws.
Game of Thrones? Did he?
Thrones, but it was Thrones that had happened.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he did. That one was good.
I don't know about that one.
I had. Do you know any other good? I had a Breaking Running Bads.
Jessica in her league, she had one that I remember when I heard it, I was dying, dude. It was so funny. I think it was Show Me Your TDs. that was one. She had two, actually. There was two in her league that I thought were so funny. That was one of them, was Show Me Your TDs. And then I forget what the other one was.
I heard one. Yeah, well, his team name was Morning Woodhead.
Oh yeah, that was hilarious too.
There's some really good ones out there.
Oh man, the good thing, the good thing is, every year you get new players through the draft. So, I mean, from college into the NFL.
Yeah.
So
there's more puns.
Yeah, you can find more puns.
More puns.
You can find more. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can find more ways to be clever and more names to work with.
Yeah. So. I don't usually make names. I usually go with pop culture. So I'm probably gonna have a team about dabbing.
Okay.
Or
you can only do that if you have Cam Newton on your team, though.
Or I could do something.
Since I picked before you, I'm gonna pick Cam
I could
Newton.
make a joke about Donald Trump. Make the team name like Build the Wall or something.
Make America great.
Make America great again. Or put Merca great again,
great.
spelled wrong. And whenever people ask me what my team name, I go, Merca great.
America great. If you don't like it, you can
Yeah. Well, we started this discussion off with fantasy football. So what you may have noticed is that we're going to be talking about sports today. Get into it. We're going to get into just a lot of sports stuff happening right now.
There is.
It is the playoffs. It is the NBA playoffs. It's also hockey playoffs.
Yep.
Which we have to check.
Soccer just ended, right? So
yeah, soccer just ended.
Playoffs recently going on.
Well, because
that works.
Well, because of the way their system works, there's no playoffs.
Okay.
So their playoffs is kind of...
It's based on a point system, right?
Okay, yeah. So the way the point system works is, in soccer, if you win, you get 3 points. If you tie, you get 1. And if you lose, you get 0.
Okay.
So, of course, I could check how many games. I don't know exactly how many games. That's probably something I should know. Let me see. Taryn entertains with what you know about soccer, because he knows nothing. So
yeah.
Explain us what you know so far, and I'll kind of correct you.
Cristiano Ronaldo is a monster. See, but this is where I don't know who's more of a beast. Is it Cristiano Ronaldo or is it Luis Suarez with the way that guy likes to bite people?
That is a real... Don't lie, that is a real... That's a real... well, actually, it's not Ronaldo or Suarez. It's either between Ronaldo and Messi.
Well, I know it's Messi. Well, I know it's between those two usually. Mm-hmm. But I'm saying Suarez is a beast because of
Suarez
his antics not involving soccer itself.
Not involving soccer itself. So it looks like in Premier League, it says in the Premier League, which is the one I follow, there are a total of 38 games.
Okay.
So... in a season, there are 38 games played.
Amongst how many teams?
There are 20 clubs in the Premier League. And so the way it works is the bottom 3 teams get relegated to a lower league.
Okay.
And the top 3 teams of the lower league come up. So your team can actually become... So if your team starts off, you'll start in a lower league at your level. And then as you get better players and continue to go up, you can get better and move up into the new league. So there's a lot of teams that will get relegated, and then they'll be like, oh, where's this team? Where'd they go? Like, they just fell off. Some teams just fall off and go into that lower league, which kind of sucks. It's not, I wouldn't say it's not minor. It is professional, but they're just like, it's like Eastern Conference, these people won't know this. The Eastern Conference in basketball
is weak.
But the Western Conference is powerful. So it'd be like if the last 3 teams of the Western played in the East.
Okay, that makes sense.
East, for those of you who don't understand the analogy, we just explained the Eastern Conference was like you got Cleveland in the playoffs, Toronto. Yeah, they're good teams, but if they played in the West, they would not compete. They wouldn't be able to compete.
They probably wouldn't have made the playoffs.
They wouldn't have competed. Yeah, so. Those 3 teams, and so then the top 3 teams make it to what is called the Champions League.
Okay.
Which is a culmination of the top leagues of each country.
Okay.
So the top leagues of each country, the top 3 teams go into a tournament, and then it works from there. There's the group stage, which is 4 teams in a group, and then you play each team, and you get points like normal: 3 for a win, 1 for a tie. And 0 for a win.
For the loss.
Sorry, 0 for a loss. And then the top 2 teams make it to the round of 16, where they put your name in the hat, pull it out, and you face a team random.
Okay, that's cool.
And then that's what I like about the soccer, the way the tournament works. Is it's a tournament. So after you win, your name goes back in the hat, so you can end up playing any team.
Gotcha.
You can end up playing any team.
That's good.
And that's why it was 2 years ago. It was the first time 2 German teams had made it to the Champions League finals. Like it was like whoa, like
what's going on here?
Yeah, and they beat out the Real Madrid and
So Germany ain't no joke. We remember what they did back in the World Cup.
Yeah, in the World Cup. Definitely.
What was that 7-0 or 7-1 or something like that?
Against which color? I can't even remember.
Was it Argentina? No,
Argentina was like 3 years.
Argentina was the one that was in the finals.
Yeah, it was the finals.
Brazil.
Yeah,
it was Brazil.
What was it? Brazil? Yeah, 7-0, just like a demolishing.
Did I ever tell you I had a coworker who placed a bet that Germany would win by 6 points? He placed a bet. The odds were like 1 in like, I think it was like 1 in like 50,000 or something like that. He put a $20 bet on that, and he got $100,000. Really? Because they beat Brazil.
He really did that?
He really did that.
Dude, that happened to somebody. They got $100,000. Mm-hmm. Wow!
Off of just a simple $20 bet. Hey,
well, there was a guy because the way this year in soccer, Lancaster City won first place.
Okay,
and they were, just to put that in perspective. We talked about relegation going down to the lower league. They were one game last year. They were one game away from being relegated to the lower league. And it's only because Chelsea beat a team that had more points, that would have pushed them down.
Gotcha.
When Chelsea was last year's champion, which is my team. Woo-hoo. We didn't win this year. But Lancaster City this year won. And the odds for them winning was 1 to 5. It was 50,000. And so the way it works because people in England, you can make a bet at the beginning of a season on your team to win. And so there were people who won just because they were like, it's my team. I'm gonna put a tenner. I'm gonna put the 10 pounds. It was English pounds, but they would put money on their team because they're like, it's beginning of the season. If I lose $20, exactly.
Not a big deal.
People won that bet. No one got paid out like extravagant amount, but I think someone made like $50,000, $500,000 like dollars.
That's crazy.
And the odds were in 1 to 50,000 because
they were not ever in their favor.
Just the odds were not in their favor, but they just kept trudging along the whole season. And I was like, I thought they were going to lose steam. Honestly, I was like, you can't. But they were competing at a high level, like a very high level.
That's good.
Scary. I mean, like their top goal scorer had 13 goals, and they were playing out of the mind. So
that's good.
I mean, they're definitely going to go to. So they go to the Champions League, and so that's kind of. I wouldn't say the playoffs because Lancaster has the title of Premier League, so they're the champions. Mm-hmm. But that's kind of where, because when you win bigger tournaments, you get money for them, and that goes back into the club. And so that's why you want to be in the Premier League, because there's cups that you automatically, like FA Cup, you automatically get to be in. The top 5 teams get to be in a certain tournament too. I can't remember which one, but But there's different, depending on how you are, you get to be in certain tournaments, and that's how you win money for your team. So Lancaster with the win there. And we have because it works last year, so during the next season, Lancaster, while the teams play their regular season, and they'll schedule the games for the kind of the Champions League and playoffs and stuff like that.
That's good.
And so hockey, it's San Jose versus Pittsburgh,
St. Louis.
Oh yeah,
St. Louis Blues. San Jose is currently up in the series.
It's
3-2. But they're playing right now. There's 8 minutes left in the third period, and they're up 3 goals. So it's safe to say San Jose is going to go to the finals. And then we have
I thought it was the finals. My fault.
And then we have the...
I knew Pittsburgh was still in it.
Tampa Bay Lightning and Pittsburgh Penguins playing Game 7 tomorrow night.
Oh, that's Tampa Bay Lightning? Toronto's Maple Leafs, right? Yeah, Toronto Maple Leafs. Wow, so we're gonna go. San Jose is going to the finals. Did anyone see that? I don't follow hockey too closely, so I wouldn't know if we saw that coming or
not. Not so. Honestly, I didn't really expect it to be them.
No.
I thought
the Blackhawks.
Well, I was hoping for the Blackhawks.
I thought Washington was going to go a little bit farther.
Yeah, I thought Washington would make some noise.
They got beat up.
That was hilarious.
Washington got beat up a lot. There's lots of fights. I don't know if anybody heard about that battle game. Basically, just everybody fought.
Yeah,
they fought a lot of people.
But no, honestly, I thought Dallas would
do something.
Would do something. Yeah, but no, St. Louis beat Dallas.
Now, my question here: how do you think the hockey team names stack up to like other team names? Like, not in hockey, but I mean, like, if you think about like team names, how they all have their mascot, which is an animal. Mm-hmm. I hope teams in the future, we know when we're in 50 years, beep 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 beep. I hope there's lots of beeps in the future too. But in the future, do you think teams will have like better mascots? Like, there's so many animal mascots. And, like, looking at this, like, who made it to the playoffs, looking at hockey, there's not very many, like, animals. You know, there's the Penguins, there's the Saber-Tooth Tigers, there's the San Jose Sharks, right?
Yeah. There's the Sharks.
But then the ones that aren't animals.
We have the Capitals, we have the Lightning, we have the Rangers, we have the Flyers, we have the Stars.
Those are not animals. That's cool. I think that's pretty dope. Surprising from hockey. Do you think hockey deserves more recognition? How would you say that? I mean, at least in America.
Yeah,
because those guys play hard. Whenever you see
they play super hard.
They play real hard.
My thing is, I can't skate on ice to save my life. Mm-hmm. So I have mad respect for hockey players. Because not only do they skate, but they're hitting people, they're moving the puck. Like,
they're dancing.
They're doing a lot more than just skating. Where if you get me in an ice rink, dude, it's game over for me. So I have mad respect for hockey players. And the toughness that they play with, too, is just, it's absurd.
And hockey is the only sport where you can fight another player. And then you suffer a penalty for, 5 minutes? Yeah. 3 minutes in the box. Yeah, like... Yeah. You can fight, like, you're allowed to fight another player, and the refs get there just to make sure they can break it up once you're done. Oh, yeah. But you can punch the mess out of another guy.
It's hilarious.
And I wonder why that. I mean, I know that's the exciting thing that people like that about hockey, because they're basically fighting ice dancers.
Yeah.
But it's like, why is hockey the sport where that's allowed? Because it's not like they have helmets, but you've seen people get the helmet beat off of them.
Oh yeah.
And they're just wrecked. And then you get to come back in the game. It's not even like you're ejected after a fight. Yeah. You sit in the penalty box for a few minutes.
Maybe under some circumstances you might get kicked from the game.
With a stick.
Yeah, but for the most part, you just sit in the penalty box 5-10 minutes or whatever. The only thing that I can think of is like for football. Mm-hmm. Those guys are ginormous.
Okay, I was guessing.
So if you allowed them to just fight, because they're already, like, hockey, it's a very physical sport. You're hitting each other already. But football, I'm sure if you allowed guys to just pummel each other, beyond just playing the sport, it would be really difficult to break that apart.
And even to keep a team.
Yeah, sure.
Like, your team would just be injured.
Yeah.
Like, what happened to Angelo Williams? Like, I did not see his fist coming.
Yeah.
Because, like, if you think about the players that would fight, it'd be like the linemen.
Oh, yeah. Linemen would probably always fight.
Yeah, they would.
Always. And then you figure, for basketball, for me, the thing with basketball is, I think it's too close to the stands. Mm-hmm. They're too close to the fans and interaction. You know, like we saw, I think it was in 2004, with the Pistons and Pacers, how that whole thing ended up in the stands and fans were fighting players and everything, and it was just a complete mess. I think that's why they try to keep that so well regulated.
Yeah. I'm not against regulation, let's put it that way, but I just think it's interesting that hockey is the sport, because that's the sport that not a lot of people are into. Like, I don't even know how much a hockey ticket costs.
No idea. I've never looked into it.
I don't even know. Like, we probably could go to a Kings game on, like, a pretty penny. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, that's a shiny penny. Come to the Kings game. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, you know, that's just one thing.
And then baseball, baseball is such an old school game. Mm-hmm. You know, there's unwritten rules and laws,
like etiquette and stuff like that,
that you just don't do within baseball. So I think baseball it's more for the integrity of the sport that they don't want.
So what happened with the punch? We all saw. I don't know if anyone's familiar with.
The punch
Dude punched the guy in the face. It was a brutal, just demonstration.
Fights happen.
And they got a really good angle. That's all I want to say. Cameraman, stupid good angle.
Great job, cameraman.
It's like slightly behind him, but off enough to see the other guy's face like jolt from the punch.
It was it was a solid punch.
It was a
solid
nice hook.
punch.
That's right. It was right.
He definitely made Muhammad Ali proud.
Yeah, he got contact with his face.
Yeah.
What happened with that? What was his? Did he get suspended for a couple of games?
I think it was like 6 games or something like that. 6 or 8 games. Okay.
Baseball's got plenty of games.
Yeah, dude, baseball. When it comes to stuff like that, they're pretty lenient. With baseball, you really only get suspended for like PEDs and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, like drugs.
Performance enhancing drugs.
Yeah, explain to anyone that doesn't know. Gotcha. Performance enhancing drugs.
Yeah, which I don't understand. I get why it's banned, but at the same time, this is a very common misconception about performance enhancing drugs. Is the drug itself doesn't help you play better.
Yeah,
it doesn't make you stronger or anything like that. All it does is it helps your body recover quicker.
Well, yeah, if somehow build muscle, right? Don't they?
Steroids. Steroids do, but almost nobody takes steroids.
Yeah, exactly.
Because
it damages your body.
The reason why baseball is so profound for the PEDs use is because the amount of games that are played back to back to back to back to back. So you want to be well rested. You want
your body to be ready for the next game.
Exactly. You can play it.
Because you can play 2 games. Like I think
doubleheader.
I have the Giants on the. I get the notifications of their games, and they're usually playing like. I'll be like, oh, I didn't even realize they're playing so quickly.
Yeah.
Other sports, football, you play once a week. It's a 18-game season plus playoffs. 16. So each team plays 16 games, but it's 17 weeks, right?
Yeah, because each team gets a bye week.
Yeah, so it's a 16-week season. We just learned soccer's 38 games.
Okay.
So, I mean, usually about once a week. If your team's in the playoffs, then you got more games than that. Yeah. Basketball is 82 games. I mean, those ones are close. Those are kind of close together.
Yeah.
But they're not so necessarily.
But
what they consider performance, because not all. I'm going to clarify. Not all anything you take is going to be performance enhancing. Sometimes they'll be like, "Oh, this vitamin." Like you heard what happened with was it Serena Williams or no Sapovich? You remember?
I forget who it was, but I know
it was Sapovich. It was Sapovich.
This
is tennis now.
She's talking about something for like 10
years.
Or
she was taking a vitamin or supplement or whatever for 10 years to help her recover and train. They put it on the list, and when she got tested before the tournament, she failed. And I don't put that on her because she'd been taking it for so long. I put that on whoever was supposed to be checking that for you.
Yeah,
whoever on your team did not check. Like you gotta. I don't know if I guess tennis. Do you have a team? You know what I'm saying? Like even like
I'm
players.
Sure you have like manager. You have a manager.
You have a manager. Yeah, exactly. Like you have a manager, a trainer. I'm sure. I think in tennis, like you have a trainer.
Yeah,
like you have a guy that you go to and you train with. Like I feel like somebody. Like I know teams have team doctors.
And if you're a tennis player and you don't have a trainer or a manager, get yourself.
Yeah,
one.
Please. That's why
I'm sure that'll help.
I'm sure it will help.
Yeah. What was I gonna say?
Yeah, so she got suspended from the tournament.
Yeah.
For that, and that was so long, and it's just because they updated the rules.
Yeah. Who was it? Marcel Reese?
Yeah.
There's
So you gotta tell what sports it's from.
Marcel Reese.
Imagine these people don't know what
fullback.
Imagine these people don't know what names. They don't know names, so you gotta tell fullback for
the Oakland Raiders.
For the Oakland Raiders.
It's the fullback for the Oakland Raiders,
which is football.
Which is football.
Well, you got it in there in the black and silver. Like I keep forgetting it. We gotta explain it just in case someone who has it. That way they learn something too.
This is true. Yeah. So the NFL is also pretty big on like performance enhancing drugs and stuff like that. And Marcel Reese happened to take a mixture of vitamins that created a banned substance within himself. So he didn't take it knowingly.
He didn't take it.
It just happened to be
the chemicals mixed together.
So like if you take some sort of medication and then you drink alcohol with it, it's not going to be good. it's advised against that. He took vitamins that nobody knew.
Yeah.
Created that that banned substance.
Wow.
So he did that, and he got suspended 4 games, and he missed out on the Pro Bowl this year because of it. The Pro Bowl.
Oh yeah, I know the rule. They call it the Sean. It's not meant to be called the Sean Merriman rule.
Yeah.
They want to call it the substance abuse rule or something like that. But Sean Merriman one year got flagged for a banned suspect and made it to the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
And then after that year, they were like, "Oh, I don't think a player who gets caught for doing something wrong should be able to make it to the Pro Bowl."
Yeah. What makes this the part that stinks the most is
the kicker. This is the kicker.
He's still suspended those 4 games, and the NFL came out and acknowledged that
it was a mistake.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So they came out and said, like, we know that it was an honest mistake.
I think that's part of the because this is the thing. I wasn't necessarily against the Goodell reign. Roger Goodell is the commissioner of the NFL, which is football. The NFL, the commissioner basically decides the rules of the league. He kind of enforces new rules, decides what new rules come in. I mean, they can't like change established rules. I mean, kind of like the president without a committee.
He still has people that he works alongside with. He's just more so the face of the
league,
company.
So that's why we say the Roger Goodell reign.
Yeah.
Because he's going to be... I mean, we're going to get a new commissioner, so we'll see about that. But Roger Goodell has always acknowledged, like, oh, yeah, this sucks, but we still are going to do it. Like, even with the Adrian Peterson thing. Adrian Peterson running back for the Minnesota Vikings at a purple team on football. But he got, if you may know Adrian Peterson not for football, but for beating his kid. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't necessarily beating. I'm still on his side of it was a spanking.
I agree.
Black people call it, we call it beating. We call it a beating because it's a beating. But when you use like the politically correct terms, you got to say spanking.
Oh yeah.
Or else you beat your kid. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. I'm 100% for beating a child.
Yeah, I agree.
Or else you had a bunch of little punks like you have.
Because it was on his butt, and they're like, oh, but it was also around his legs and around his thighs. Yeah. He used to switch to spank the child.
I'm sorry. I didn't know that was illegal.
I've been spanked with the switch, man. I used to purposely pick the bigger sticks so that it didn't whip around the leg.
Yep.
Because that's how you get the whip marks on your legs. And because you're like, oh, there's whip marks on his legs and on his... Look what he did. It's a switch. They allow you to pick the switch.
And let's be honest. I'm sure that kid was hopping around when he was getting beat. So Adrian Peterson may have been aiming for the butt, and the kid made it worse by hopping around. Caught him in the leg a couple times.
I think that, and it's a real bummer that because he's in the public eye, he can't just be a normal dad.
Exactly.
This is what he was trying to say. Like his kid was being bad, and he was like, my kids are gonna know who's dad.
Oh, let's make it a point to mention, Adrian Peterson is from Oklahoma.
Yeah,
he's from the South.
He's from the South.
He was
disciplined.
He was raised with that hardcore discipline. So he was just doing what he was raised and taught to do.
Exactly. That's like I'm raised in California. I still got the switch.
Yeah.
Like I said, pick the thicker ones. We used to go for the thin ones. We learned our lesson. The big branches hurt. Like I'm not gonna lie. It's a more blunt force, but you don't have any of that whip.
Exactly.
Exactly.
That extra sting.
And if you get too close, and that's the thing. Like I said, when I was getting spanking, when I got spankings or spanked or beat, I took it. I tried not to move as much as possible. So I would do this thing where I'd count. Like I count for myself. I 1, 2, 3, 4. And then move. I'm like, oh, okay, let me get back. Like I count for myself. Just get to 5. Just get to 5. Okay. Now move. Like my butt's hurting thinking about it.
That's so funny.
You count as much and then you move.
Yeah.
That way she's not like, keeps moving. Because then if you're only getting 20, 25, slaps, then you move every 5. It's not as bad as that kid who moves after 2, fall. Like my brother's the guy who falls to the ground. Yeah. No, oh stop it! Yeah,
she's killing me.
The screamers, Do you remember getting beat, Taryn?
Yeah.
You probably didn't get beat with a switch. Your grandma wasn't old. Was your grandma old school?
No. You know what? It was mostly by my mom. And her two weapons of choice. Yeah, her two weapons of choice was the wooden spoon.
I'll let you get to that story.
And my grandpa had really thick leather belts that my mom liked to beat us with.
He said like to.
Yeah, those were her favorite.
Man. Okay.
Grandpa came in clutch a bunch of times though, because there were times where she would be like, Dad, like let me get your belt, and he would go and get the smaller leather belts.
Oh, okay, again.
So he would still get her leather belt, but he would hide the big ones. He would lie to her. He would lie to her and be like, I don't know where they are.
Grandpa came in clutch.
Grandpa came in clutch with
Grandpa let you get beat.
Yeah,
he let you beat less. That's
exactly.
Fun. That's fun.
But the wooden spoons, there was me and my two older sisters, Jessica and Letitia, and we each had our own spoon with our names on it that our mom would beat us with.
Yeah. So. I remember, you want to know why I know about this spoon story. And it's not because Taryn told me. It's because Taryn's mom, after Taryn became too old to be beat with the spoon, gave that spoon to my mom. And it still had Taryn's name on it while we got beat with it.
I apologize about that still.
That's terrible. The spoon, oh my goodness. I remember my mom was savage, man.
There's a lot that my mom taught your mom that I feel bad about.
I feel like your mom, her mom may have been more savage. Did I ever tell you about the time she beat me and Tay?
No.
That was the beating. Like that was the beating that changed my life. And it was. I say that not because you sit over there. Our third host has showed up. We're talking about beatings right now. He might not know because he's white.
This is true.
Let me scoot over. Probably getting that.
Did you say this was supposed to be about sports?
It is about sports. We're talking about Adrian Peterson, so we got onto the beating phrase. But the beating that changed my life, and it wasn't me who got beat.
Yeah.
My uncle was used to getting beat by my grandma.
Yeah. And
so she was kind of old, so hers was more of a, she would be like, okay, well, because my grandma was his mom. It's okay, it's a long story. She had 11 kids. We're the same age. Anyway, she would sit on the bed, and she would beat, she'd beat you.
Yeah.
But she was very light. She was very light. She was compared to my mom. My grandma was light, and my grandma beat us.
Yeah.
We used to do a lot of bad stuff over there because we used to spend the summer over there. Long story short, anyway, she used to beat us. But okay, so we were messing around somewhere where we were not supposed to be messing around, and she told us, "Okay, when you guys get home, it's gonna be in trouble." And so my uncle was still kind of bad about it. Like he was still he was very he was down for it because he was like, "Okay, I'm gonna get in trouble," but he didn't realize how much trouble we were in. Like I realized how much trouble we were in. He got me in trouble because he was messing around and I was messing around with it. So I will take my responsibility. But I like to say, and I remember. Do you remember Taryn came up to me? Taryn came up to me and tried to save me. He goes, "Hey, you should tell your mom that Tay was messing around during prayer because..." And I was like, "Oh," he's like, because you were messing around during prayer, so you make it seem like he was messing with you."
Yeah.
And I remember Taryn told me that, and I was like, "Oh God, I should do some damage control and go to my mom and tell her, like, okay." So I went with her and told her, and she goes, "Oh, I know, you were messing around too." And I was like, dang, did not work. So that fell apart. That fell apart. But anyway, so she beat me. She beat us really, I don't know, that night. I think she was just in a beating mood. I don't know. Because Henri got in trouble for something.
Nice.
He wasn't messing around with me, but Henri got in trouble for something. Everybody got a spanking that night. There was 3 of us that night. We all got spanked. Henri got the lighter one. I got a bad one. But like I said, we all had this, the old school ways. You have to stand there and watch the other person to accept their punishment.
Oh yeah.
If everyone's getting a spanking, you get yours. You stand there and watch. She beat Tay so badly, all in the butt. This was all in the butt. I promise you, all in the butt. I don't know how she did it, but he was fighting her. So she broke the not a wood spoon. She broke the plastic spoon on his butt. And at some point I remember she was holding his head between her legs and beating on his butt with the spoon. She went to she beat him.
Oh yeah, she had the beating of a lifetime. She had fun with that.
We learned though. Yeah. I learned from that. I had to watch that.
Yeah.
And it was way longer than it had to be because and you want to say I wanted to be like, Henri, just give up. Or you want to be like, Tay, just accept, stop fighting her.
Yeah.
That's what's making it worse, And it was just the worst beating ever. Brendan, now that Brendan's here, we have our other special guest, Brendan Sprader. He was here last week. You remember him. We did a sports one. This sports one was dedicated actually to him because he sent us some questions that were sports related that we'll get to later in the episode. But Brendan, did you ever get beat?
No.
Brendan's sitting here.
I got spanked, but not really beat.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
That's politically correct.
Politically correct. He got spanked. He got spankings, but no beatings.
There were no spoons involved, basically.
Oh, man. Spoons didn't get involved. They'll tell my mom at Taryn's mom, though. Yeah. I'm not going to lie about that. We got belts.
Another thing I felt bad that my mom taught your mom was, as kids, you want to do something, so you ask your parents, and maybe they're busy or something, so you ask them again, and you ask them again, and you ask them again. Mm-hmm. And then the parents get annoyed.
Oh, yeah.
The thing that my mom loved to do to make us calm down was if we were asking to do something, she would say, if you need an answer now, the answer is no.
Yes, I remember that.
I hated that.
When my mom learned that, oh my gosh.
Your mom would not stop saying that about everything. It was ridiculous.
she was determined.
Like, I didn't like it when my mom said it, but when your mom said it, it drove me crazy.
My mom would say it about everything. Like,
absolutely
everything. She abused it.
Yeah.
She was just like, if you have to know the answer's no. Like, we'd be like, really? You have to take your time to determine if I need to brush my teeth? Or it was like stupid stuff. She would just be like, whenever she didn't want to, I don't know. I think she just wanted to say no, but she wanted to make it seem like she thought about it. Mm-hmm. So that's when she would be like, if you have to know the answer, the answer's no. But she didn't want to just say no.
Yeah.
But that's Adrian Peterson.
Yeah.
We were talking about Roger Goodell. Let me catch Brendan up real quick. We got to the boring sports, soccer, hockey, baseball. We talked a little bit about baseball.
You call hockey boring?
Not boring, but I mean, it's not
the lesser known.
It's not the lesser known.
Okay.
This near the end, we're going to get to the big stuff just because the people who stuck in, those of you still listening, you deserve, an award of some kind. So you get listener award because you listened through because you like us. So you wanted to listen it through. So now we're going to talk about, just so we can get out of the way, Taryn, we're going to talk about the NBA playoffs.
NBA playoffs?
Me and my best friend, Taryn, shut up, Brendan, no laugh. Let me finish talking about it. Me and my best friend, we are both fans of NBA teams, as you would think.
Yep.
I have been a fan of Golden State Warriors, who are now the most popular team at this point because they're the best. Just how the Lakers, everyone heard about the Lakers. Now everyone knows about the Golden State Warriors. This season, they played their best season, the best season, sorry.
The best regular season.
Regular season NBA playoffs. They 73
wins.
9 losses. And then 80, as we previously stated,
82 games.
82 games.
Yeah.
They won 79 of them.
73 of them.
73 of them. Which was, sorry. We had 9 losses.
Yeah.
That's why I got confused. But so they have that record. Steph Curry, their point guard, which is usually if you're watching basketball, you see the smallest player on the team. The point guard, who kind of controls the floor, had 402 3-pointers.
Mind you, the previous record was 272.
272 3-pointers. That record was set by himself.
Yeah. He holds the top, 4 records? Or 4 of the top 5?
No, actually, Klay Thompson beat one of his seasons.
Okay.
So another player on his team beat one of his seasons, so got into, I think, 5th.
Okay.
Or, no, 4th.
In any case, he's a really good player.
Either way, he's stupid good. So they had a really great season. And so that's why during the playoffs, everyone assumes that the Golden State Warriors, winning 73 games, not losing any games back-to-back, going into the playoffs, would continue that stride. They didn't. First round, knocked the team out. Second round, knocked the team out. Now they're going against my best friend's team, Oklahoma City Thunder. Terry, would you like to continue from here and tell the story as I told the previous?
The Oklahoma City Thunder.
Don't whisper to him.
They've had an up and down season. They were tied with the worst team in the league for the most fourth quarter losses.
Yeah.
So meaning that they would go into the fourth quarter with either leading or at one point in that fourth quarter leading just to lose the game. That was 17 times. 17 times that they lost games like that, bro. Now, like we stated, Golden State only lost 9 games all year. That's just games that they lost in that fashion.
That
All
meme
in
we
all-
talked about last week. That was one of the games.
All in all,
the
they
Warriors.
still had
The Vine we talked about last week.
they still had a pretty good season. They came
Yeah.
out third in the West.
Third in the West.
Which we talked about earlier, how the West is so
They're
dominant.
really good, yes.
So,
They came up third with a team that has 79 wins, That was
73
first.
wins.
Sorry, 73 wins. Dang it. 73 wins.
and then I think the Spurs had 69.
Yeah, the Spurs were right behind them. But the Spurs, at the end of the season, long story short, that's basketball against Spurs, the gold and silver team. They kind of rest at the end of the season. Like they tend to. The way they play
They
is,
typically rest their starters.
yeah, for the playoffs.
Exactly.
Which Oklahoma beat.
Yeah.
And they beat the Spurs. I cannot be mad at the current situation of our team.
Well, check this out. Going into round 2, facing the Spurs, my Thunder weren't expected to win the series. They were expected,
not
to, win
expected to win
a
at
game,
all. Not even a little bit.
2. A game, maybe 2 against the Spurs, but it was guaranteed the Spurs and the Golden State Warriors were going to meet in the finals.
Yes.
Or in the Western Conference Finals. So we lost game 1 by getting blown out against the Spurs.
Yes.
We won game 2 by 1 point. We lost game 3, and then games 4, 5, and 6 we absolutely obliterated them.
Yeah, they came. They did.
They put in work.
They did their thing,
Yeah, so we advanced. Now we're facing Golden State in the Western Conference Finals, and again, coming into the series, all the analysis, all the experts about the
What'd you
NBA.
say? You can talk, Brendan. Brendan's still getting used to that he's in the podcast. He's like whispering.
Brendan is a Clippers fan, so he's bitter.
He's
We're not gonna listen to
bitter.
his- we're not going to listen to his nonsense with the bad calls. In any case, the Thunder weren't expected to win any games.
What's up?
We stole the first
Finish.
game.
Get to the end. Get to the point,
we
Terry.
sold game
You're taking
1.
a long way around to the simple point that we want to get to.
I'm making sure that our viewers, who may not know this stuff, know everything to its entirety.
They don't.
as
need to
as
know
you
all.
said, as you stated earlier, we're talking to people who don't know about this stuff.
Shut
So
up,
I'm just making
Terry.
sure that they know every little
Just
thing.
say it. Say it. Say it. Go ahead.
Game one, we beat
Say it. No,
Golden State.
don't.
You just told
make
him
it
to
longer.
say it.
I want him to say what happened. Tell us the current status.
Currently,
Explain.
I just-
First, we didn't actually explain the NBA playoffs to them. Actually, I realized. So, in order for a team to advance, hey, Brendan, imagine these people are new. In order for an NBA team to pass, they pass on to the next series or next round. They have to win 4 out of 7 games.
it's a series of 7.
Series of 7.
So whoever gets
First
to
game
4
of
wins
4. Yes.
wins.
Go on.
So
So currently,
the way it's set up is it's the top 8 teams from each
yes,
conference.
Eastern.
So Eastern and Western Conference. So moving on to the Western Conference Finals. We won game 1.
Oklahoma City.
Yeah, Oklahoma
Won game
City
1.
won game 1. We lost game 2. Golden State won game 2. And then games 3 and 4, Oklahoma City has just completely annihilated them.
Annihilate.
I was sitting at work on, when was game 3? Saturday or Friday or whatever?
What was that Sunday?
That was Sunday.
Oh, it was Sunday. Okay. Anyway, I was sitting at work. I was on break, and the people who were in the room with me, we were checking just sports scores and stuff. When we saw that score, and we're like, wait.
It was nasty. I just want to point out the game 2. The Warriors beat the Oklahoma City by 30 points.
Was it 30?
Yeah, it was 30.
I thought it was like 22.
No, it was 30.
Okay.
It was like 28.
Okay.
Then the next game, Kid proceeded to get beat by the same number of points.
I'm just going to
Twice.
say this.
Not
In the 3 games that Oklahoma City has beat Golden State, they've won by an average of 19.3 points a game. So that's almost 20
Golden
points a game.
State.
for
I
them.
was watching the game yesterday, and they were missing like really good shots.
Oh, yeah. But
Like
that's
they're
their defense.
missing.
Okay, so
I
who
was really
was
hoping
it?
that would happen.
Was
Why
it
are you hoping
Kawhi?
that happen?
I
I think the Warriors are going to win. The
I
Warriors
just
are
love
going
it
to
when
win.
teams like become the best ever during the regular season, and then they just blow it.
No, usually during football that'll happen.
Like the
because-
Patriots?
That'll happen during football because the football
Or
one
the
game and you're out.
Packers a couple
But
years
not
ago.
during basketball. Like during basketball, you have 7 games. You're the best team ever. You
Yep.
don't lose like that. I think the Warriors come back the next game. Next game is a home game. They only lost 2 home games the whole year.
Yep.
Both to the Spurs, not in the OKC.
Yeah.
To put that in perspective.
Yeah, this is true. But game 1 was at your home and we beat you guys. So
Okay, you're right. So during the regular season, so they've lost 3 home games the whole season. I guarantee you, they at least get to make it 3-2. I don't like being in a position where you lose and go home, but if there's any team that you think that could make it out of this type of situation, admit the Golden State Warriors could do it.
Honestly,
no.
If their team plays better, if they play better,
I think if
Klay Thompson stops getting early fouls, in the second quarter,
he had 3 fouls.
He had 3 fouls. Got taken out with 7 minutes left.
Yeah,
Came in on the third quarter, scored 19 points straight.
Yeah.
19 points straight, 19-2 run. It was all Klay Thompson.
Yep.
But then had to get taken out because he got another foul. And that's why I was saying that ref stuff was being crazy. Because it wasn't that the fouls were being called, but it was like they'd be called on Klay Thompson.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like dumb. And they would be like on a rebound and dumb stuff like that. Those play calls were kind of... And usually during the playoff, play calls are a little silly. But it's like, whatever.
Honestly, if it was any other team other than Oklahoma City, I would say that Golden State has a chance to come back. I'm not eliminating the prospect of them coming back because it is a 7-game series. So, but the way that Oklahoma City has played these playoffs, the maturity that they've shown. And
you sound like a coach. Shut up.
Well, no. But that's actually who I was going to give credit to was Billy Donovan, their new head coach.
Yeah. Put him in a position.
The substitutions that he's making when he makes those substitutions is what has helped them advance so much more. People talk about coaches aren't important, and when I say people, I'm talking about your brother.
Yeah.
Your brother said coaches aren't important. Excuse me, they are important.
Throw shade.
Yeah, I'm throwing shade.
Say Henri. Tell him his name. Henri, listen to this.
Coaches are vital when it comes to winning games, especially playoffs or championships.
Yeah.
But yeah, Golden State. If there's any team that can do it, it would be Golden State. Just because of the great season that they had.
Quickly before we get to questions, we have there was a playoff game tonight.
Yes.
It was Toronto versus Cleveland. Can you guys guess the score? The series was tied 2-2, which everyone is rooting for the Raptors as the underdog because the Raptors. This is actually the Raptors' first season. 12
first
years.
Time.
Was it 12 years? 13 years as a franchise?
I feel like it's been more than that.
Yeah, it's been long. Long time they've been a franchise. This is their first time in the Eastern Conference final, like the conference finals. Before you go to the finals.
Yeah.
This is their first year. To guess I want you guys to guess the score.
Can I just clear some air really quick? It's not that people are rooting for them because they're the underdogs. It's people are sick and tired of seeing LeBron James in the conference. Oh, that's all I'm
saying. That's what you think it is, LeBron James.
Yeah, I'm sorry, dude. I don't want to see LeBron James in the finals for a 7th straight year.
Yeah, well, LeBron James is going to be in the finals for a very long time.
Hence the reason why he stayed in the East. Because he's scared. Because the East is easy.
Well, anyway,
I'm throwing shade.
Guess the score real quick. Guess the score real quick so we can get to it.
Whoever won, I'm guessing, won by at least 30.
122 to 86.
122 to 86. That was close. Terry got closer than Brendan. Brendan said by 30 points. It was almost 40 points. It was 38 points. It was 78 Toronto, Cleveland 116.
Okay.
So they got demolished.
I was kind of close.
Yeah, you were kind of close. You just went up. You went up above.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Cleveland's probably going to make it to the finals. But the Raptors have played really good to tie the series 2-2 to everyone thought they were just going to get murdered by just the same way as the other series is going. Like, everyone thought they were getting murdered. But this is the playoffs. Like, this is when you bring your A game.
This is why you play a series.
Yeah, this is why you play a series because you got to keep going. You got to either tie the other team out or you got to bring stuff that the team hasn't seen. And that's why Terrence said about the head coach, you bring a good head coach in and he knows where to move the pieces around, where to surprise the other team, which I think is good.
You know, just a backstory about a coach. Tyronn Lue, he's the head coach for the Cavaliers, which is LeBron James' team. They fired their coach like midway through the season, and he was an assistant coach that they promoted up to the head coach. a backstory that I heard that I love about Tyronn Lue is, for the most part, LeBron James calls all the plays because he's LeBron James. He's the king.
He's the king.
I use air quotes.
Giant air quotes.
Giant air quotes. You can see that. So one of the first huddles that they had with Tyronn Lue, LeBron James was saying something, and Tyronn Lue looked him in the eye and said, "Shut the F up and sit down." And Tyronn Lue proceeded to draw up the play.
Yeah.
So that, to me, I think that's because before this happened, they weren't struggling, but for the talent that they have on that team, they were struggling.
Yeah, definitely.
And since then, they played a lot better basketball, and I think that has a big reason to do with it. People saw that Tyronn Lue was going to command.
Coach it.
Yeah, exactly. He was going to command that he runs.
Yeah, because I remember last year a lot of people were giving the credit to LeBron over the coach. Yeah, like there was a lot of that. Well, let's get to questions real quick. We got some questions submitted by different members of the community.
So you already did football and baseball?
We actually didn't get to football. It is technically the off season, so we can talk about football closer to to the season. But we do have some questions we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about Brendan's questions. I know you really want to get to them, but we have
one. Just that one.
We have one. We have a couple that are sports related. One. Why are sports entertaining for you personally? Can I ask you, Terry and Brendan? Let's go to Brendan first, real quick. So we haven't heard from you tonight.
I enjoy the competition because I watch the most boring sports in most people's opinions, but I just enjoy the competition.
And I think that's respectable that you can.
Can you explain what sports?
Yeah, tell us what sports you're talking about, and people will know what you mean by most boring.
Well, let's see, NASCAR racing and golf are two of them.
You watch golf on TV.
Do you watch poker?
No.
Oh, okay. What about bowling?
That would complete the trifecta.
Unless there's absolutely nothing on, I will not watch.
That would complete the trifecta. Yeah. Brendan wants poker
or bowling.
I think I watched bowling once because
even bowling, they get mostly strikes.
Yeah,
so even bowling.
And it's funny. The one time I watched that someone shot a 300, which I guess was kind of cool.
Yeah, that's like perfect. That's a perfect. That's a perfect score.
Yes, I know it's a perfect score.
I just got to say this one time. This one time I was talking to this girl at work about bowling because I'd gone bowling the night before.
Yeah.
And this lady tried to tell she started telling me. She was like, "Yeah, I'm a pretty good bowler. One game I bowled a 370 something." And I was just like,
caught you in a lie.
The most points you can score in a single game of bowling is 300. So there's no way she bowled a 370. I was like, oh, okay.
Did you just say okay?
Went along with
it. Oh my God, you let her lie to you?
I let her lie to me, dude.
She got caught in the biggest lie ever.
I was just like, come on,
370.
Yeah, I'm pretty good. I was like,
pretty good. You got all strikes and some.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. Point, she used 2 lanes.
Yeah. That was hilarious.
We got another question. This one was actually submitted from somebody last week. It was Brendan last week. Trying to catch me. Mm-hmm. Brendan was trying to catch me slipping, but I didn't fall for it. But I will ask the question because I'm not afraid. When it comes to being a sports fan, how do you define loyalty? Well, let me stop that real quick because I forgot. Tyrion didn't answer the last question. That's real quick. If you give us a real question, why are they enjoyable for you?
Sports are enjoyable for me.
If you had to say because everyone, I know for me, I started with football. Mm-hmm. That's like the most, everyone gets the most hype in America about football. But then once you either like just one sport, and or you branch out to other sports. And whenever you start in a sport, you always start with just knowing about your team.
Yeah,
and then from there, you learn more about the teams, or for Brendan's case, the other golfers. No burn. High key burn. Low key burn.
For me, what I find entertaining about it is because I just like playing sports. I like being active, and I feel like I'm pretty good at some sports, and it's like it just blows my mind to know that there are people that are so much better.
You appreciate the skill of
it.
Yeah. I remember we were watching a dance show. So You Think You Can Dance? Mm-hmm. And I was watching contemporary dancing, and I was like, I don't get it. And Jeremy, my father-in-law, he said to me, he's like, okay. He's like, you like sports and you can imagine what it's like to do the things they do on the field. So it's like, see the technique and the control they need to have to do this stuff in contemporary dancing. So I was thinking about that way from that dance, and I was like, oh my goodness, like just thinking about it from that perspective, you can understand a lot about the sport. Like, wow, that was a nice play, or that was amazing that someone could do that, because you're thinking about the skill of it.
Yeah, and I think that might be one of the reasons I enjoy watching golfing.
Yeah.
Just because I'm a golfer myself, and just seeing how easy they make it look.
Yeah, they make it look super easy. Yeah. I think that is, and for also I agree with Brendan too. The competition, like the competition, is nice, and just I like the fact that whether you like the same team as somebody else, it kind of connects the world.
Oh yeah,
because I remember, I used to we went to some public place, but I could always go Chargers, because we live in California, and somebody else would yell, "Go Chargers!" Or you could start up a conversation with someone about sports.
Yeah.
Because no matter what team they like, it depends on when they start or how far they are into the sport, they will recognize the other skill. Rather than just knowing their team.
Unless they're a Patriots fan.
Deflate. And so back to about when it comes to being a sports fan, how do you find loyalty? Brendan wants me to ask a question. I'm going to give you some background. I don't use it.
Person.
I don't use it as an excuse. I do not use an excuse, but we, as a group of friends, agreed that it's weird because I liked the Chargers, and my friend liked the Raiders. So
by the way, you posted a Snapchat the other day of you in a Chargers jersey.
Oh, that was my shame day. I didn't tell you, as I told Taryn today.
Yeah.
I shamed myself for changing teams. I have 2 Chargers jerseys and 2 Charger hats sitting in my closet. And I was like, I'm never going to be able to wear these again. I'm literally going to have to get rid of them. Mm-hmm. I have to. But I shamed myself. I wore an entire outfit, from hat to lanyard to Chargers jersey, because I am no longer a Chargers fan. And it hurts me. As Brendan said about loyalty. Like, you think it's easy for me to sit here? Like, I've liked the Chargers since 2010. I found a loyalty contract that we made when we were kids in elementary school, making fun of my little brother, because when he was younger he used to switch teams every other season and then try to convince you that he didn't. He'd be like, no, I've been a Patriots fan. Like, one time
he was a Patriots fan, an Eagles fan.
You remember the Eagles too.
Yeah. Who was he ever on Tampa Bay? I think No.
Why would you be on Tampa Bay?
I don't know, but either way, he was switching teams like crazy.
Broncos,
and he would tell me. He was on Carolina one time.
Yeah.
But he would tell me when I get home, "Oh no, I've always been a fan. Ask my friend Xavier from school." And then so I went to one time to pick on Riyadh from school because he was having some trouble with some kids. They were trying to jump in because he has a loud mouth. Anyway, I go to the school and I'm like hanging out with his friend. I'm telling him, and he goes, really? Henri's a Patriot fan? Because he's always telling me, ask my brother. He'll confirm that I'm a Chargers fan. Like, he'll confirm that I'm this fan. Like, he's always been lying to all of us. But loyalty, it's hard. And we made a loyalty fan devotion contract. It says if you buy merchandise for another team, you forfeit the contract, and you have to give that merchandise to another team, like the person who likes that. Mm-hmm. So I'll give you my jersey if you want to wear it. Okay. If you want, if you can fit it, I think you fit it. Either way, it's painful for me to admit that I'm now not. It's not painful. I'm going into this with it's painful for me to admit that I'm no longer a Chargers fan, but I am now a Los Angeles Rams fan because they are our new local team, and I love LA. Mm-hmm. But that's why I want to be.
You've never actually been to San Diego,
huh?
You've never actually been to San Diego.
I have been to San Diego. I'm just not a fan of San Diego.
I just don't understand how you can like LA more.
I love LA. Like, I love the city. So much culture.
You spent more time in LA.
Yeah, I spent so much time. Like, the culture of the city is... Either way, the stadium's going to be in Inglewood. To me, a great place to go to watch the games.
Oh, yeah.
Whether you like the teams or not. Like, and my brother lives over there, so I can even go relate. It doesn't matter. How do you define loyalty, Taryn? Because Taryn, if anyone can talk about loyalty here, my friend Taryn has been if you know anything about football, you will know who the Raiders are. Known for so long for being the suckiest team.
Well, hold on. You're jumping the gun a little bit.
Known for it, though. Don't lie. Everyone hated the Raiders. Mostly known
for having criminal fans.
You can say most hated, and you can say for having criminal fans, but that's because when we first came into the league, we were a tough team.
Yeah.
We may have played a little dirty, but we won games, and teams hated playing us because they were scared to play us. But since 2002, we haven't been in the playoffs. We haven't had a winning season since 2002.
Yeah.
That's 14 years.
It's coming, don't worry.
At one point, it wasn't last year, but the year before that, we were playing the Miami Dolphins in a game that, up to this point, I think it was like the third or fourth game of the season. Miami had played horrible the entire year. And we were winless at this point, too, but we were at least in contention with the games prior.
Yeah.
This game against Miami, they obliterated us. It was like
it was
42-7 or something like that.
Stupid.
And I snapped.
In football, we want to point out, points are counted by sevens. Every touchdown is worth 7. 6 points, field goal, 7 points. So 47 points is like 5 touchdowns, but that's still a big score.
Yeah. I snapped. I texted
snap.
all my friends. I was like, I can't do this anymore.
I can't do this anymore.
I was like, I can't be a Raiders
I do
fan.
remember that. I remember someone telling me about that. I'm like, really?
He snapped, bro. He couldn't take it.
I was like,
he was ready to be a fan of a different team, but
because
he couldn't be Chargers.
I know Raiders fans are the most loyal fans.
Yeah, because their team has been sucking and they've been playing, and they still have like one of the largest fan base.
Oh yeah.
Like even I went to a San Diego Chargers game, and there was more Raider fans there.
Yeah, but you're talking about the 2015 Chargers.
Still,
that was a problem every game, not just the Raiders.
Still, the Raiders would swarm. The Raiders have a very loyal fan base.
It's known
and
as
I think that's
the
what we
Raider
made
Nation.
that deal, though. I think that's what we made the deal about the Rams.
Yeah.
We said if the Rams move to Los Angeles,
not Rams. If LA gets a team,
if LA gets a team, because they had just built, LA was campaigning to get a team hard.
Yeah.
Because it brings a lot of money into the city.
Exactly.
And so LA was campaigning hard. They told any team, we will build you a stadium if you come. So there was a couple teams in contention to try to move to LA. Raiders were one of them, San Diego Chargers were one of them, and LA Rams. So we said we would agree that if the Rams move to LA, whichever team we said whatever team moves to LA we'll all be fans of, so we're all cohesive as friends,
as a group, yeah.
But then we all agreed that you couldn't go from being a Raider to a Charger fan.
Yeah.
I couldn't go from being a Chargers to a Raiders fan.
Exactly.
And so we said if the Rams move to LA, then we're all going to be fans of that team.
No, we never specified the Rams. We said if a team that's not already one of our
one of the
favorite
rivals,
teams, then we'll become a fan of that.
So what are you going to do then?
Thankfully I have a good understanding group of friends.
Yeah, we do, because we do understand. But at that point in time, we made that deal. It was at that time that we all were like, we can do this.
Yeah. So we've been the bottom feeders of the NFL for the last 14 years, and last year we showed a lot of promise. We lost a couple of games that we could have very easily won.
Yeah.
So we have a good young core team.
Just really young.
And for LA to get a team right now, I told my friends, I was like, I can't not be a Raider fan.
At this moment when everything gets good.
Yeah, right when they start getting good and watchable, I was like, I can't switch. Like,
and that sucks for me too, because right as Chargers become sucky, it seems like I'm abandoning ship.
Yeah.
I'm not abandoning ship.
The good thing is that the Rams aren't that great of a team.
That's great too. Exactly.
So that bodes well
I'm not going from I'm not like Carolina Panther fan.
Yeah.
Or like a Denver fan. You know, I'm going to the Rams. So if they do good, they got a new quarterback. We'll hope for everything to be good. But that's what loyalty means to me, Brendan. It hurt. You have no idea how much it hurts me to change teams, bro. I keep saying I'll accidentally use "we" when I'm referring to the Chargers, and Brendan go, "What do you mean about we?" Like a jerk. And I'm like, but I made it official. I bought a LA Rams, Los Angeles, and I thought it was going to be St. Louis. I didn't know that they're already producing LA Rams stuff.
Yeah.
So I have the Los Angeles Rams lanyard now. I'm a fan of Los Angeles Rams, guys. I'm still getting used to it.
Yeah.
So now I just have to get rid of my jerseys and get new ones.
I will say
all I know is that the Rams are basically the reason I have a job now, because they were advertising this job as work at LA Rams games.
Yep.
That is true.
I'm still a Chargers fan, though. It's like I'm going to be working for the Rams and everything, and
I got you.
doesn't mean I'm supporting them, but as my
Did I tell
NFC
you,
team. But
Seth's dad gets to do the coolest stuff. He got to meet with NASA the other week. because he works for Edison, and they control for people not in California, they control the electricity in California. But he got to meet with NASA for one of their plants, which I thought was cool. But then he got to meet with the owners of the LA Rams to talk about getting lights for their practice stadiums.
That's crazy.
And I'm like,
take me with you.
I hate you, Aaron.
If you're listening to
hate
this,
you.
Take me with. I'm not.
Get yourself
LA
some.
Rams
I'm
fan.
like, dude, bring home some gear or something. Like, you don't understand. Like, but he's not that guy to be like, oh yeah, you know.
Yeah.
But you're gonna be meeting with the owners and like the top staff of the team, and you're not gonna say, like, he doesn't even care about football. He doesn't even realize.
I still think my job's better.
If you worked for Edison, you know, and got to meet with NASA. You get to just meet with the Rams, which is cool.
Yeah. I get to be. I
but
have
you don't
the
get to meet
possibility of being on the field.
But you're not in a meeting with the owner.
Or I could be guarding the locker room. You never know.
That's true.
That's cool.
That is pretty cool. Like I said, your job is cool.
Yeah.
You don't get to meet with the owner of the Rams, Brendan, is what I'm saying. Like, to just talk. And he probably has to go back, and he's going to go back. Like, he works with each thing, like, he works with each project, you know, while they need him.
That's cool.
So mad. Anyway.
Cool.
That's just me ranting about that. Because he was like, the Rams was like, and he was like, whoa. And I was like, oh, God, I hate you, Aaron. Get out of here.
I will like to say this. As a Raider fan and my best friend being a Charger fan for so long, it's nice to not have to rival you.
It is going to be nice.
It's going to be wonderful.
I mean, because they're not switching the Rams division yet, right?
No.
I have to learn a whole new division.
The only way that they would switch any division is if two teams in the same division shared a stadium.
Oh, okay.
So that's
the
only
whole
way that
new
they would
division.
switch that up.
But see, now I'm at contention with my brother. He's a Niner fan.
Never even thought about that.
It doesn't matter though. He's not. He's a no. Everyone talks to him. You're like, he knows a lot of stuff, but you're annoying, Henry.
Yeah.
Like Henry, you're annoying.
He says stuff just to get reactions out of people. So
yeah, he acts like he knows everything, but basically, I see him as the two most
He's the
annoying.
more annoying version of Taryn because they both know a lot of old.
You ever
facts.
watch Sports Center at all?
No.
I mean,
that's not
depends.
Because
You don't know a lot.
He doesn't know a lot.
Oh, okay.
You know who the two most.
I'm sure he would disagree
Taryn,
with that.
you ever watch ESPN at all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you
of
know
course.
the two most annoying people on ESPN?
Mike and Mike.
No.
Stephen A. Smith and Skip Bayless.
Yeah.
Wait, what's two guys?
Henry reminds
what
me
show
of
do
them,
they do?
basically.
They do. Is it First Take?
Yeah.
They do First
Who
Take.
does what's the countdown show? I don't like those guys.
Oh.
Well, I don't really like anybody at ESPN, but especially those two.
At the NFL Network, I think it's got great people.
NFL Network has amazing
The
people.
NFL Network has great people both for fantasy and for just normal. Like they have real respect to the whole sport. I think.
Yeah.
ESPN, those guys are so annoying.
Yeah, but anyway, Henri reminds me of those two, acting like they know what they're talking about, and even changing things around just to sound right.
Yeah. I will say this: Henri knows a lot about sports, but when it comes to history, I have him beat.
Okay, I
when it
wouldn't
comes-
know, but I mean
yeah.
he does know a lot.
We
He'll focus on the little tiny details.
We tried that one time because there's one night we were all hanging out and we got into an argument about that. And our friend Jeff pulled up, or Cameron pulled up
quiz online.
pulled up a sports quiz online, and I obliterated him because most of it was older, like history type stuff.
older stuff.
Yeah. But when it comes to stuff like anything from like 2008, I'll say up to this point, he knows a lot about. But prior to that, he's not well versed.
Oh, okay, yeah, I can say that. So, guys, we come to the moment at the end. We want to thank Brendan for our beautiful question that, hurts me to my very core of the being that I am. Hopefully he'll be back next week when we... I'm thinking I got the topic now. I'm thinking we're going to talk about murder. That was a bad evil voice from Charlie.
That was terrible.
Say murder in an evil voice, Taryn.
Murder.
Something up, Brendan. Say murder in an evil voice. Okay, that's what I'm saying. So don't judge me on my murder. Murder. Oh yeah, I got you.
That was a jaw.
We're gonna talk about some different murders and what people know. I mean, I don't know if people know about murders. I'll see if any of my friends, and they'll probably be a special guest.
Before you do next week's podcast, read the story on the Black Dahlia.
Okay.
It's a famous murder. but the details aren't too very well known. So read up on that, and tell me that's not one of the craziest murders.
The reason why I'm talking about this is because I've been listening to a couple. I listened to a couple podcasts about like murders that are like unsolved. Like, have you guys heard about Jean Benet Ramsey? Mm-hmm. She was like a pageant queen in like 1991. Really beautiful young girl, like an eerily creepy, beautiful young girl. Yeah. And it was like, and they were like, there's a lot of like, they don't know who did it. There's like, they left the longest ransom note ever. They think it was the parents. Like, lots of stuff like that.
Gotcha.
So we'll talk about different stuff like that if people know anything about serial killers. But let's give everyone a chance to tell us. Follow us on social media. My name is Armani. My Twitter handle is BDMafia25. Please try to contact and reach out with us. We're trying to get people to communicate with us. Let us know if there's any topics you want us to discuss, any questions. I'll probably send out something for questions for next week's episode as well. And I try to just post rant. I mean, I'm not necessarily. My page doesn't have a voice yet, I guess. I don't really. Makes sense. I'm not one of those guys. I'm literally the random guy to be like, yo, this is what I'm thinking right now. Yeah, sometimes I'll say something inspirational. Sometimes I'll say something I think is funny. You know, stuff like that. Follow my friend Taryn.
On Twitter, at Tearing It Up.
Tearing It Up?
Yep.
Because his name is Taryn.
Yep.
It's TERENN.
And then It Up. ITUP.
No spaces, of course. Brendan.
All together.
Hit us up with your deets.
Twitter at Sprader Brendan. SPREDER BRENDAN.
So it's Spreader,
Spreader,
and then Brenda EN. What's it?
You don't realize Spreader would be SPREA, right?
Oh, okay. I thought that's how you spell your name.
What?
How do you spell your last name?
SPREDER.
Oh, EDER. Okay, so Spetter. Not Speeder, Spetter. Well, okay. People will get it. Thank you guys for joining us for the Excited People podcast, and we'll see you next week.
Woo!
Whee!